All right, yeah, this is a Patreon from Calvin, Frank Zappa. I think this is, I'm not sure whether this is like an interview or like a little doc because it's got a lot of clips, I think, in it too. So, well, let's just see. Let's go.
Fyllda med i stort sett all sorts musik. Jazz, rock, fusion, modern konstmusik, doo-wop, blues med mera, med mera. Ofta kryddat med absurda, satiriska och kanske framförallt cyniska texter. På en och samma gång så lyckades han vara en fantomgitarrist, en snuskpelle och en passionerad politisk debattör. Nästa vecka så är det 10 år sedan Frank Zappa gick bort 53 år gammal. För att hylla hans minne så har vi dammsugit SVT:s arkiv och klippt ihop det här collaget.
Mostly what I listen for during the show is who's making the mistakes, because that's what I have to fix the next day. That's my job. I'm the referee. My boss is the audience, and I'm the missing link between the audience and the musicians. You know, I tell them, play it good, because they're out there.
I do a bunch of different things.
He plays the bicycle, and his name is Frank Zappa.
Whenever I have the opportunity, I'll do as many different things as possible that interest me.
Musicians usually are regarded as sort of the scum of the earth.
I even like to cook.
Who represents common sense more than me? I don't know, that's a rough one.
Americans don't want to be smart. It's embarrassing for them to admit they're smart.
This should be a very dynamite show.
Yeah, I think that people have a right to hear whatever they want to listen to. And so if we have a small specialized audience that likes to hear what we do or likes to hear Wildman Fisher or would like to hear the GTOs, they should be able to hear that sort of material. Somebody should make it available to them. Well, my music uses styles from all over the place at all different times. There's some Gregorian chants tucked away in there, modified versions, twisted versions of bebop that I remembered from hearing that. The rest of it is just taken from the environment that I live in. You know, when I'm out on the street, I absorb so much of what I see and what I experience on the street. But most of my time is spent in my house, which is cluttered with various pieces of memorabilia from these various eras. And being locked up in that house quite a bit influences my work.
Just a thing for you. You know your mother's gonna love you till you don't know what to do.
Well, I'm sure there are good groups out there, but I'm not a pop music consumer. If I have recreational listening time, I'll listen to classical music.
Do you ever listen to rock, too?
Usually what happens is if I get in a car and somebody has the radio turned on, I tell them to turn it off. I mean, I do hear it from time to time, but I don't seek it out.
That's right. Hurdy is the secret word for tonight. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Just calm down there now. Don't get too excited. It's only show business. And the first song is called The Black Hurdy.
Well, I'm not really a rock and roll star. I'm a musician who happens to be working in the rock and roll business. It's a difference.
You mean to say that it's not rock and roll you play?
Well, some of it is, but most of it's not. It's other kinds of music.
What would you say it is?
Well, we play all different styles of music, from classical to country and western to rock and roll to jazz, all different kinds in the show, all mixed up.
Is that the reason why you have been able to stay in business for more than 20 years? I mean, that's not...
No, I wouldn't say that's the reason. I think that that's probably worked against me, because usually the groups that have big success play only one kind of music and they play the same thing over and over again.
All right. It's true, it's what John Lennon said. He didn't want to be 40 singing She Loves You. And then in the Crazy thing about that is if you see Paul McCartney now, he's plays like 5 Beatles songs. It's always the same 5 Beatles songs. But yeah, definitely you can tell that with Zappa that the classicals, like in how the music is actually put together. Although, like he said, there is a rock structures that come into it, but the overall flow of the music is a much more classical vibe to it than a pop group.
I want to tell you one more time. I want to thank you because I really appreciate this. Okay. All right. Okay, look, no. There's no way that I can show my appreciation to you. But let's not get maudlin about this. The name of this song is Dynamo Hum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couldn't say where she's coming from, but I just met a lady named Dynamo Hum. Strolled on over and said, look at Mom, I got a $40 bill, said, you can't make me come. No way, you just can't do it. She made a bet for the sister, who's a little bit dumb. She can move it anytime on Memphis come. I don't mind that she called me a bum, but I knew right away she was really gonna come. So I got down to it. Whipped up a blues and stiffened my thumb and applied rotation to a sugar bun. I poked and stroked my wrist got numb, still didn't hear no dynamo hum. Dynamo hum. Dynamo hum, dynamo hum. Where's the dynamo coming from? When it's baby, I will need to look for the dynamo. Dynamo, dynamo, dynamo. Got a spot that gets me high. You ain't been to it. Got a spot that gets me high. You ain't been to it. Got a spot that gets me high. You ain't been to it. Got a spot that gets me high. You ain't been to it. And I can't get into it. Let's get out of it. And I gotta be out of it to get myself into it. I can't get into it. Let's get out of it. I gotta get out of it before I get into it. She looked over at me with a glazed eye and some bovine perspiration on her upper lip area, and she said, and here's what she said, just getting wasted, and you're halfway there. Sip my eyes pulled up, moving my body. I rub my chinny chin and said, my, what sort of thing might this lady get high? But the $40 bill didn't matter no more when her sister got naked and laid on the floor. She said, Dynamo might win the bet, but she could use a little if I wasn't done yet. I told her just because the sun wanna blaze in the sky, no reason to assume I wouldn't give her a try. So I pulled on her hair, got her legs in the air, and asked her if she had any cooties in there.
What do you mean, cooties? No cooties for me.
She was buns up kneeling. I was wheeling and dealing. Spread it to the feeling. Started in the squealing. Dynamo watching from the edge of the bed with her lips just twitching and her face going red. Some drool rolling down from the edge of her chin was a spidey condition. Her sister, she quivered and quaked and clutched at herself. Her sister made a joke about her mental health until Dynamo finally did give in. But I told her all she really needed was some discipline. I said, kiss my aura, Dora. That's right. You know why? Because obviously it was real Angora. And then I said, would you all like some more right here on the flora? And how about you, wanna? Do you wanna?
Stage, up on stage, Frank.
What?
Take me up, man. Yeah.
Sure. Wait a minute, now that you're up on stage, what's your name?
Brian Rivera.
Are you having an okay Halloween,
I
Brian?
am having an excellent time. Thank you for Greenwich, man. Greenwich, Connecticut.
All right, now I'll tell you what, Brian, do you know the words to this song?
Well, in a way.
Okay, here's, Brian, this is your golden opportunity. This is the Frank Zappa Perform-Alike contest. Now here's what you're going to do. We're going to play the song again, and you're going to pretend you're me. And you pretend to sing the song and dance all across the stage and give these people a very good Halloween show, would you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, ready? Work, work. Couldn't say where she's coming from, but I just met a lady in Dynamo Hum. Great. Stole all of said, look at mom, I got a $40 bill, said you can't make me come. You just can't do it. She made a bit with us too, it's a little bit dumb, she can move it anytime on me. I don't mind, but you call me a bum, but I knew right away she was really gonna come. So I got down to it. Whipped up a booze and stiff in my thumb, and applied rotation to a sugar plum. I poked and stroked her wrist got numb, you know I heard some dynamo hum. Dynamo hum. Dynamo. 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 Dynamo again. 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 Hey, how come you guys aren't singing it? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh. Dynamo. 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 That's right. Dynamo. 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 Give me that hat. All right. All right. What? December? No, not yet. I'll tell you what. Boy, is this thing hard to hold on your head. Let's do another song. Here. No. We'll do that later. Hey, thanks, man. You do a pretty good imitation of me. Nice fingernail polish. Really good. Really good. I like that. So wait, look at, show the camera. Show the camera your fingernails. Very good. Nice. All right. What's this?
He plays the bicycle, and his name is Frank Zappa.
Keep the meat.
That was nuts. That whole performance thing. That girl definitely wanted a bit of Zappa. But I love as well that he just completely... He's got, what do they call it nowadays? There's a term for it. But Zappa's like, that girl was all over Zappa from the second she was in the crowd. Then he went to picking everybody up. I think he picked her out the crowd last. Then he was giving it to the two girls to sing. But his commitment to music is because he was just literally when you two ain't singing it, and he just walked away from them like, you're not contributing. But yeah, that was a crazy performance. I don't know whether I must have heard that tune before. I must have heard that tune before, but it's not a familiar one to me. I can't remember doing that. It must have been, if we did do it, it must have been a while ago, or I've just completely forgot about it. But yeah, let's go.
It's coming. I'm waiting for the thing that comes after video cassettes. You know, the more medias there are, the more
DVD.
possibilities there are to do things with them.
How long have you been playing bike, Frank?
About 2 weeks.
He probably was selling insurance or something. He thought, what's something real jerky that'll get me on the Steve Allen show? Playing bicycle. What could be sillier than that? And he did it, and here we are. That's probably how it happened. You really only been playing 2 weeks?
Yes.
What do you do ordinarily besides this?
I'm a composer.
Ah. And might we be familiar with any of your songs as yet?
Well, you will be familiar with some of my songs as of next week. But I did the score for The World's Greatest Sinner.
And who might that be? Tommy Manville or who? Tell us about that.
That's the name of the film. It's the world's worst movie, and I did the music for it.
The World's Greatest Sinner?
Yes. It's a Tim Carey production, Frenzy Productions.
Frenzy Productions.
Frank Zappa, what do you want from television? What do you expect of it?
Well, in the United States, I haven't learned to expect very much. It's sort of merely entertaining.
You want to play the new departure blues, or exactly what are you going to play on us here? I'll just let you show us what happens.
The first thing that I should do is demonstrate to you the different types of sounds that you can get from a bicycle, because it actually does make some very interesting sounds, and of course that's what we're all interested in.
There's new sounds, yes, like...
That's one of the sounds that you can get.
Yes.
It's a very intriguing medium just because of what you can do with electronics in terms of alteration of visual images and the things that you can do with a combination of sound and vision in a purely electronic medium.
Do you know, I said this, I mean, in a way, he was born at the right time because he's the perfect person to use the real instruments of that you would have had to. But I said that one of the first, when we first started doing Zappa about him, that if he was more built for this day and age where everything is, where you don't need a record company, you don't need all of that. I think towards the end of his life, because he did just sit in a studio, didn't he, and have people come in. But with what you can do now in terms of reaching an audience and making things, it is so much easier. Like, maybe not television, like, again, well, there was television then, but television wasn't quite there yet. But what has become now with the internet and all the different platforms and different ways to, Zappa would have just been unreal in this time.
Middle of the night, and your mommy and your daddy are sleeping. It's the middle of the night, and your mommy and your daddy are sleeping. Sleeping. Mom and dad are sleeping.
Very exciting thing to bring into somebody's home, but normally I always talk about the United States because I don't know very much about television or life outside of the States. But in the States, the television is a commercial medium which is designed to accommodate the sponsors who are advertising various products on the shows. The sponsors are the ones who have the most control over the content of the shows, and so they don't want to do anything controversial.
Try my Mint Fresh Polident. It's got a minty mouthwash ingredient, so it freshens up dentures as it cleans tough stains. Try Super Strength Polident Green, the mouth freshening clean. Ah.
There's an illusion in the United States that we have free press, and it is purely an illusion. Excuse me. Because the censorship that takes place here doesn't just come from the government, it is a result of the editorial viewpoint of the people who own the individual broadcast licenses and the individual newspapers and magazines. None of these people are liberal. Everybody, I would say 90% of the people who own media are of an extreme right-wing persuasion. In fact, one of the things that these right-wing broadcasters have done is to create a smokescreen. A few years ago, they started this campaign that worked like this. They had people from right-wing organizations go on television and complain that the media had a liberal bias, and then spent a year or more having debates and arguments between these people who would talk about whether or not, in fact, the media was too liberal. And it never was liberal. It was always right-wing. But by bringing these people from the right wing onto television to challenge the liberality of broadcasting, they created a situation where
they could claim that in order to have more fairness in their broadcasting, they had to inject more right-wing element into the broadcasting. Think about that. Nice trick. And
I don't know about the time that he's talking about and the time he's in, but that has been so wrong over the course of my life. There is no doubt whatsoever. Now you can say again, I agree with his initial point that it's a left wing, without a doubt, the left wing. And if the only people that don't think it's completely left wing are completely left wing people, I'm not a right wing person. I would put myself in the setting or kind of neither. But to say that the the media isn't completely tilted to the left is ridiculous. From Hollywood to TV shows to news, I would say it's changing now, and I think maybe Elon buying Twitter has kind of forced other platforms to be a bit more relaxed. But there's no doubt, like as someone who put up content online, it's certain topics you can't go against, and they're all the left wing ones. We've seen this over the years. Look at someone like Nick Fuentes. Although, again, like Zappa said, there's certain points I agree with him on that it's controlled. Either side of it, whether it's left or it's right wing media, it's completely controlled. And Nick Fuentes is a perfect example of that. He hasn't been allowed on any platform. He's had banks frozen. He's had he can't fly, all just because of his opinion, his right wing opinion. But if you look recently, all of a sudden, just like that, I think he was on the Nelk Boys. He was on he was on Candice Owens. He was on that guy, one of the big podcasts. I forget his name. The one that always is going on about talking to UFC fighters like he can beat them up. Do you reckon you could take me in a fight? Yeah, they could take you in a fight, you big muscly div. But he went on his podcast. All of a sudden, Nick Fuentes, in the space of the last month, in fact, I've only heard about him recently. I didn't know about his whole cancel. That's how cancelled he was. I had no idea of who he was really. But all of a sudden, he's going on podcasts, whereas before no one would have him on because instantly you'd lose your platform if you had him on. That's why no one wanted him on their platform, because they'd take it away. But it shows you that it's completely controlled, and it shows you that something behind the scenes all of a sudden now is okay with Nick Fuentes going on shows. So that is completely controlled. And maybe the time he's talking about it may have been completely right wing, but throughout my lifetime, there is no doubt that the media is completely left wing. There's no doubt about it, and there's a reason for that too. Typically, if you're in, like, it's like most musicians and most like I say, movie makers, most creative people are left wing. But yeah, to say that the right hasn't been disproportionately cancelled and things for what they're saying, it is ludicrous to me.
it's still going on today. I mean, they've created the myth that American broadcasting, American media, it has a liberal bias. It never has had. It couldn't have, because the people who own it are in no way liberal.
Are we on?
Now, I suppose what you could argue with what he's saying there is the term liberal, and this is what I have a problem with. I would actually consider myself liberal, which means I really don't care what you want to do, but don't tell me what I want to do. Now, there's a lot of people that claim liberal when that is not their thing. They're not right wing though. They are left wing, but they are dictator left wing people, basically. That it's you believe what I believe or else. That's not liberal. That is fascist. No, but it's not a right wing ideology that controls the media, without a shadow of a doubt. It's just not. Like, is so obvious. It's like in every movie. Every movie now has the woke check marks of all their things, all their talking points. Where it's like the movie isn't a movie. It's just a check code of woke things. There's no story to it. It's just as long as we get these things in, it's a good movie. It's why Hollywood's dying. It's why the media, no one listens to the media no more, because you're only getting what. That's why I think as well. It's starting to change, and the right is. I mean, the right's been claiming people for years because of the left has gone out of control. So maybe on that side of things, you can say that I'd agree with him. The media are not definition wise liberal, because they want their ideology and that's it. And you've seen it. You've literally seen like Facebook and Twitter, and before Elon bought it, that they've all come out and admitted they was banning and deplatforming anybody right wing. And it's also ironic that a lot of them people that own them companies are the richest people in the world, and they're liberal. But yeah, so I suppose on one, it's not people are call people liberal when they're not liberal. But it's not a right wing ideology they have either. It's a left wing ideology that they are enforcing with the same vigor as a right wing ideology, a far right ideology will enforce theirs. But it's the same thing. But it's not a right wing ideology that runs the media. No way. I'd like to see anybody make a good point for it. I see people even do say it, and I just think you can't honestly believe that, like that the people that unless anyway, we're getting too deep into the weeds. I could go into a reason where they could, but let's carry on.
America's wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful.
To try and describe how bad television could be in the United States, I suggested that they create something called the Mortuary Channel, which would be a specialized broadcast channel 24 hours a day that featured as entertainment people being embalmed and made up for burial. And I believe that the U.S. audience is twisted enough that if such a thing were to go on the air, not only would it make money, but people would watch it all the time. Furthermore, you'd have some people writing into their will that they would not want to be buried until they had at least been on television when they were dead.
The mystery man came over and he said, I'm out of sight. He said for a nominal service charge I could reach Nirvana tonight. If I was ready, willing, and able to pay him his regular fee, he would drop all the rest of his pressing affairs and devote his attention to me. But I said, oh, yeah, brother, who you jiving with that cosmic debris? Who you jiving with that cosmic debris? Oh, brother, don't you waste your time on me. Well, the mystery man got nervous and he fidgeted around a bit. He reached in the pocket of his mystery robe and he whipped out a shaving kit. Now I thought it was a razor and a can of foaming goo, but he told me right then when the top popped open there was nothing his box won't do. With the oil of Aphrodite and the dust of the Grand Wazoo, he said, you might not believe this, little fella, but it'll cure your asthma too. And I said, oh, yeah, brother, who you jiving with that cosmic debris? Now what kind of a guru are you anyway? Oh, yeah, brother, don't you waste your time on me.
Moses, we know where we are. I don't think Zappa gets enough respect for the amount of lyrics he wrote too. I mean, obviously his music ability is his standout thing, and his composing. But he's wrote a hell of a, like, even think of from this song to the whatever that dim, the one where the crazy performance one. Okay, his lyrics aren't serious, but he wrote a lot of them, and he has a great lyrical, like a great poetic ability too. Like the words just flow off of each other. He's like, yeah, I don't think he gets enough um respect for how much lyrics he wrote, and his lyric. That's the other thing. His songs have a lot of lyrics. Well, some of them have a lot of lyrics in them. But yeah, that's part one. Sweet.